We are back at it once again, guys. Let's go over Monday Night Raw. So the show started off with Mr. Bullshit in the Bank, Brock Lesnar. Yes, that's what I'm going to be calling him from now on. So Seth Rollins came out as well during this segment, and so did Kofi Kingston. And there was one line Paul Heyman mentioned about Becky Lynch, without saying her name, just said that you were in the back for 7 hours watching your girlfriend main event WrestleMania. So that got to Seth Rollins. So Seth Rollins and Kofi Kingston were booked in a main event to take on the mid-card of evil, Baron Corbin and Bobby Trashley. Braun Strowman took on Sami Zayn. Braun Strowman defeated him. The Lucha House Party attacked Lars Sullivan. Don't know why he's versing Lars. Don't know why they're feuding with Lars. I heard that Lars attacked them at Money in the Bank. I didn't cover it because I didn't care. Cesaro took on Ricochet, and they actually put on a unbelievable match. They put on a very good match. Very, very enjoyable. Roman Reigns and Shane McMahon agreed to face each other at the Super Showdown in Saudi Arabia. The Usos took on the Revival in a great tag team match, which I thought that was a very good tag team match indeed. And then we had a moment of bliss. Nikki Cross as co-host. They had Becky Lynch on, and then all of a sudden, out came the Iconics, talking trash to Becky Lynch and Bliss and Cross, and then out came Lacey Evans to talk trash as well. Then Becky said that she'll face all three of them, and Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss were her tag team partners. But so Becky tells Alexa, "You stand outside and look pretty since you can't wrestle." Now, she wasn't saying that because Alexa can't wrestle. Alexa can wrestle. It's more the fact that she's still injured. So that's why she said that. It wasn't an insult, as what some people would have taken. And Becky Lynch got the win with a diving leg drop on Billie Kay, pinning her. Yeah, she pinned Billie Kay with a leg drop. This just shows how much more pathetic Billie Kay has become, as well as the Iconics. The Iconics have become so pathetic, and it's very sad. You may as well just take those goddamn championships off the Iconics. And it's sad for me to say that. You're doing nothing with them, and since all you're doing is making them lose, you may as well take the goddamn belt off them. The talking point of the show was Mick Foley and his new championship. He revealed it to be the 24/7 championship. So, it's basically the hardcore title with a new name. And yeah, everybody is shitting on it. Everyone is shitting on the title. Everyone's calling it ugly. Yeah, I will agree with that. The belt isn't really the way I hoped. It wasn't what I expected. They really could have done the design a lot better. I will agree with that. That's the part I get. But the thing that I don't get is the fact that people are shitting on it because it wasn't the hardcore title. They're calling it the Jobber Championship because only jobbers are holding it. Wasn't that the same thing with the Attitude Era back in the day? People like Steve Blackman, people like Al Snow, people like Boss Man, people like Albert, the Mean Street Posse, Viscera. Wasn't the hardcore title meant to be for all the lower card people? Isn't that what it was meant to be for? For all the lower card wrestlers that maybe they may get elevated? Potentially get a potential elevate to the top? Isn't that what the hardcore title did? They even had bloody Raven, Kane fighting over the hardcore championship. They even had The Undertaker compete for the hardcore championship. And Rob Van Dam. So, the hardcore championship, to me, was a lower card belt anyway. So this title is for all the lower carders. So I don't see the problem here. I don't see the problem with this championship. There's no problems with it. It gives people like Eric Young, EC3, Cedric Alexander, Buddy Murphy, Chad Gable, Jinder Mahal. It gives all the people that get no TV time, it actually gives them time. It actually gives them something to strive for, something to compete for. Isn't that what a championship is supposed to be about? Strive to be the champion? I don't get it, man. But anyway, Mick Foley said it's going to be a championship for everyone. From the Raw roster, to the SmackDown roster, the 205 Live roster, the NXT roster, and the NXT UK. He said it's for all divisions, which I think that's fine. That's fine. If you're going to have a title that represents for all wrestlers that don't get TV time, that's fine. That's fine. I'm pretty sure there are a lot of NXT and NXT UK guys that are probably dying to do something since NXT won't use them. So I think that's perfectly fine. So Mick Foley drops the title in the ring, and he wants all the wrestlers to come running out to win this championship. The first person to grab the championship in the ring is the first champion. So we have we had this brawl of wrestlers compete for the championship. Now I actually rewatched this a couple of times. The spot where Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson both jump in at the same time to grab the championship, I actually rewatched that again. Carl Anderson actually grabbed it first. If you pause it on the point where if you pause it at the right time, you see that Carl actually has his hands on the title before Gallows does. And then they make it sound like that they both grabbed it at the same time. So in my opinion, screw job. Carl Anderson is your first ever 24/7 champion. So just from that evidence alone, I feel like Carl Anderson was robbed. So the first ever champion is Titus O'Neil. Then Bobby Roode, Robert Roode comes from behind, rolls up Titus O'Neil, and he is now the 24/7 champion. And then at the parking lot, R-Truth became the 24/7 champion. Now, the one thing I will say I'm not going to like about this is because, you know, I do like to grab the championship photos from all the wrestlers on WWE.com as good collections. But because all these champions keep changing hands, that's not going to be happening a lot. But I do see the negatives with this championship, but I'm more looking at the positives of this championship. The fact that people like R-Truth, Bobby Roode, and all these other guys that don't get TV time, they've got something to fight for now. They've got something to fight for now. I think that's the one thing people should be more looking at. Drew McIntyre took on The Miz, and Drew McIntyre defeated him. And in the main event was Seth Rollins and Kofi Kingston took on Bobby Trashley and Baron Corbin in a no disqualification match. Because Brock Lesnar had the briefcase, he was teasing that he'd cash in, which he didn't, which I knew he would. Seth Rollins and Kofi Kingston got the win. That's all I've got. I'm not going to talk too much about this show. I'm not going to talk too much about this show. This show wasn't good. Outside of Ricochet and Cesaro giving us a great match, and the Revival and Usos giving us a great match, and the 24/7 entertainment, which I think the 24/7 thing's entertaining. It's fun. It's entertaining, and I thought that was very entertaining. Raw was pretty bad. Outside of those two things, I thought Raw was pretty bad. But you guys let me know down below your thoughts on the 24/7 championship. Hit that thumbs up if you guys did enjoy the video as well. And, yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow for my SmackDown review.